why you're working out hard, but but still not building a competition physique, right? Today's probably going to challenge a lot of what you've been told about training. If you've ever looked at someone on stage and wondered, why do they look so different than I do? I train just as hard as them. Why don't I look that way? Today, you're finally going to start to understand some of the most common reasons why. I'm going to show you some of the biggest misconceptions in bodybuilding and physique competition. Before we really get rolling, that's me. I'm not a physician or registered dietitian. Contents of this should not be taken as medical advice, not intended to prevent, treat, diagnose, cure any health problem, disease, or illness, not meant to replace a physician. Always consult your physician or a qualified health professional with matters regarding your health. I'm none of those things. All right. Why do they look so different? I train as hard as they do. I see and hear this all the time. And there's a number of reasons for that. But before we start digging into those reasons, we have to talk about some of the lies that the fitness industry has convinced people to believe. The industry has convinced us that more sweat, more soreness, more cardio, more exhaustion, more classes, more small group, large group, semi-private, more burpees, more suffering is the path to a physique that looks like it belongs on a contest stage. Simply not true. Here's what I've learned after more than 25 years coaching, promoting, judging. Sure, hard work is required, but hard work by itself doesn't produce a competition physique. Okay? Hard work alone is not going to build that contest physique. But what does? Having a plan, having direction, having some clarity. And the biggest thing, and we're going to cover this, and I'm going to teach you how to do this, is to start training with weights, not just working out with weights. And this is where almost everybody gets lost. Everything today is going to come back to the fact that working out burns calories, but training builds physiques. Okay. And they're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. Working out is an activity, burns calories. Training is a planned, structured process with a specific goal. Bodybuilders don't train to get tired. They train to create an adaptation and build a better physique. That's a huge difference. Every mistake I'm going to show you today comes from confusing those two ideas. The results of a clear goal, a plan, and training with weights produce the images you see on the screen. The individuals on screen didn't just work out. They didn't just do classes or do semi-private or small group or large group or team training or a boot camp. It's not how it works. They actually trained with weights. They had a clear goal. They had a plan. They measured their progress, and that allowed them to build a stage-worthy physique. Now, that's me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Binkowski. I have competed, I have judged, I've promoted almost 40 contests in the last 20 years, recently inducted into the OCB Hall of Fame. I've seen thousands of physiques. I've seen over 4,000 competitors cross the stage at the events that I promote. And I've watched a lot of competitors win, and I've watched competitors miss their potential. And the patterns are predictable, and it has nothing to do with how hard somebody didn't or did not work. Over the last 20 years, like I've said, we've had over 4,000 competitors cross our stage, awarded north of 130 pro cards. Having seen winning physiques, those that worked hard, maybe harder, but their physiques don't look the part, there's a reason. We're going to get into that today. I also owned a large commercial gym for a long time, selling general fitness to the masses. On a typical Monday, 250, 300 people would come through my front door. Most of them never looked like a physique competitor. I owned a hybrid training center where we would have 150 or 200 clients train in large group, small group, team training environments. on a week in, week out, month in, month out basis. They didn't look like physique competitors. I also owned an Athletic Republic where we trained ball sport athletes, over 1,000 of them. And guess what? They also did not look like physique competitors. One of the biggest misconceptions I see is that if you just work hard enough, eventually you will build a competition physique. You'll build that stage worthy physique. Many that walk through my gym front door, they really worked hard, even those in our group training environments. And there's some pictures of them on the left. The truth is, it's not how it works. It just isn't. General fitness workouts can absolutely improve your health. They can help you lose weight. They can help you burn calories, right? Workouts, just working out, just activity burns calories, but they don't automatically build a stage worthy physique. Doing the things like the individuals and the images on the left will not produce the physique you see on the right. Competition physiques are built through training and structure, not just exercise. Every exercise, every set, every rep, every progression, every recovery decision has a purpose. And that purpose is pointing towards the end goal, stage-worthy physique. That's why two women can work equally hard, spend the same amount of time in the gym, leave equally exhausted, yet one develops a physique that will stand out on stage as a competitor and the other doesn't. The difference isn't in the work ethic. The difference isn't in the time spent in the gym. The difference is going to come down to that difference of exercising versus training.